Hi, I'm Chris from Mill Pet Photography. Thank you for clicking on the link, and I'd like to share with you a bit more about One Last Magical Adventure and why I trained as a pet loss grief specialist. I had a call a few years back to see whether I could come at very short notice and take some photographs prior to the crossing to the Rainbow Bridge of such a beautiful dog. In the photographs that I finally edited, you would never have seen that that dog was just a week away from passing. And it was so sad, and sad for me as well. I found it really hard. And from that moment on, plus the own losses that we've had, we had to say goodbye to a 7-year-old cat with cancer. It was so sad, and so sad to do that at such a young age as well. But we all go through what are very short lives for our furry friends. And I feel it's really important to make sure that we can capture and try and treasure memories. And whilst I'll always encourage that we have a Mill Pet photography experience and do it under more normal circumstances, I created the brand One Last Magical Adventure to do just that. It is about preparing to cross the Rainbow Bridge, and all of that anticipatory grief that goes on is hard, it's difficult for everyone. But I prefer to focus on trying to look at the relationship between you and your dog, to look at that special bond, that special connection. I spend time trying to understand as much of that as I can, a little bit through a questionnaire, but if that's too difficult, I'll just talk and we'll ask questions and get answers. And then I'll try and put as much of that as I can in telling the stories through the photography that I then take and capture. And together, I want to create one last magical adventure for you and your dog. And whether that's just a walk, their favourite walk, whether it's in the garden, if they're too poorly, it really is just at home, we will make all of that happen. We'll find a way to make that one last magical adventure just that. Something that's as much fun as possible, something that's about creating memories that you can then treasure forever. And you don't need to worry if there are, unfortunately, shaven areas where obviously there's been catheters and things going in, or maybe there's been draining happening. If that's the case, I'll fix as much of that as I possibly can, as naturally as I can, in editing afterwards. And I'll always do that with the compassion that you'd expect and get you to check to make sure you're happy as well. If you want to take a look on the website, just take a look on our blog and look under Hugo. If you look at the One Last Magical Adventure photos of Hugo, the bulldog, you'll see there that there's no signs of the fact that actually he had shaven fur all over the place. But we took care of those in editing to get him back to what his owner always saw him as. So One Last Magical Adventure, very focused and compassionate time. 60 to 90 minutes is what we recommend, but we'll work at the pace of your dog. And don't worry, if that means we don't get much in that time, that's absolutely fine. We'll stay as long as it needs to be. It's really important to make sure that we at least get the opportunity to create some memories that you can treasure forever. In terms of once the photography is complete, there's no rush to order. Often there is a rush for me to get those photographs taken, and I will clear everything from the diary I possibly can. It might mean an early morning session, and that's fine for me. I'll do just that. It's so important we capture the photography. In terms of then what you choose to do later, we can take all the time that we need for that. As you go through grief, it can be very difficult to make some of those decisions. So I'm more than happy just to hold on to the files and we can sort those later. Check more things out on the website. All we ask is a £200 reservation retainer that we give you back in full at the ordering time anyway, as you put towards any final products. So if you've got any more questions, please just give me a call. We'll happily understand more your situation and see what we can do to help. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate it's probably a difficult time, but I would like the opportunity and with compassion to support you and create one last magical adventure for you and your dog. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.